Dylan Cease goes to the Blue Jays, and it's Fanmail Friday, so get ready for an all-new live edition of Locked On Yankees next.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We're now the #1 sports podcast network. How exciting is that? And thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. He's Brian McKeon. Brian, we're recording this on Black Friday. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Did you get any discounts on anything? Did you go make any big purchases?
No.
Yeah, I didn't do it either. Do people still go to stores and tackle each other? And is that a thing?
I don't know if they tackle each other, but I know that there was traffic outside of Woodbury Commons at like 6 this morning. So people still do that.
So
yeah,
society's getting back to normal after COVID. Good to see.
Yeah. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Coming up on today's show, it's Fanmail Friday. But first, the Blue Jays did some Black Friday shopping early before Thanksgiving and pick up Dylan Cease. Let's talk about it because we briefly mentioned it on the show when we had C-Mac on, but it was one of those as it was happening thing and we couldn't really discuss it. So let's discuss it a bit.
Well, they certainly didn't get a Black Friday discount. That's for sure. I mean, this is a crazy deal. 7 years for $210. I'm sorry if I don't see where the Dylan Cease obsession comes from, but I don't get it. Like this guy has been a mid-range pitcher his entire career, and he's talked about in media circles like he's an ace. Even going into the deadline last year when the Padres held on to him, Stacey, people talked about him like he was this top commodity. Like you were going to give up top prospects for Dylan Cease, and I never saw it. And now 7 years, 210, nice pitcher. But that's as far as I go. I think at best, Dylan Cease is a 3. So $30 million a year for a number 3 pitcher. Now, they do have pitching depth. Like the Blue Jays do have a pretty solid top of their rotation, right? Between Gosman coming back, Savage seemed to solidify himself as an ace type or could certainly grow into an ace. You have Shane Bieber coming back on a full offseason of health. That could be a big sign too. So I don't think you're asking Dylan Cease to be an ace or be a superstar, but for that amount of money, you certainly are. You're asking him to be a number 2. I mean, that $30 million a year is a good number 2 nowadays. And I'm sorry, a guy that routinely has an ERA in the 4s. I don't see it. I don't get this deal at all.
Well, here are some of the numbers. So this is from MLB Trade Rumors because, you know, me with money and I'm just, I'm good at spending it, but I'm not good at figuring it out. So it includes deferred money that'll drop the average annual value for luxury tax purposes to roughly $26 million a year, which
That's
puts
still too much.
The net present value closer to 182, which is interesting because MLB Trade Rumors predicted that he'd be signed for 7 years, 189. So they were actually pretty close when it comes to those numbers. Now, the most interesting thing about this, he's the largest free agent signing in Blue Jays history. The previous high was George Springer's 6-year, $50. The Blue Jays wish $150 million deal. So
I always find those deals kind of fascinating, those statements when they say that it's the highest deal in a certain franchise's. This is for a free agent out of the Blue Jays. They did hand Vladimir Guerrero Jr. $500 million last offseason. So I don't think they wouldn't necessarily be involved in like a big-time player if they were available. Remember, they were involved in the Soto stuff, the Ohtani stuff. They didn't get much of a look. But I do think the Blue Jays have been more than willing to spend those multiple $100 million deals that just no one's taken them.
But here's the thing.
You know what I mean?
So now that they signed Cease for this much, even if it only works out to 182 over 7 years, they're not going to get both Bichette and Tucker, right? They're not going to spend that much because that'll put them.
I don't think there's any chance. I think it's Bichette now, and that's it.
Right.
I think it's Bichette or bust. And I'll be honest with you, I think they're going to overpay for Bichette. And I don't hate the overpay here in this offseason. I actually kind of respect it from a Blue Jays perspective. Now, I do understand, like from a Dylan Cease perspective, I hate the contract. 7 years, 210 for a guy who's routinely in the 4s. And has he put up an ace type season yet? I mean, I'm going to look through his baseball.
2022, he pitched to a 2.20 ERA. Then he bumped up to a 4.58 in 2023, back down to a 3.47. He had a 3.455 in 2025. So he's very up and down.
What he gave you in 2024 is probably more like what he actually is like a mid threes starter, which again is good, but that's not 30. That's like Max Fried's numbers. You're not giving that guy $30 million a year. Now, I will say this. You've spent years and years and years with the Blue Jays, parts of the last 3/4 of a decade, trying to be a consistent playoff team. And they've been up and down, right? They've been in, they've been out, they've been in, they've been out. They've been competitive, but they can't seem to finally get it together. Last year, you win an AL pennant. You signed Vlad to this big contract. I do respect giving Cease this big deal. I think that's what your fan base wants to see. Go out there, spend money to make sure you're right back in the conversation again next year. So I understand where they're coming from as a franchise. I think it's mismanagement to give this player this contract. I don't hate spending the money. And I think if you're the Blue Jays, like if you're the Blue Jays fan base, you have to be excited about this. If you're the Blue Jays, you have to be excited about this because, hey, you went out there, you made a move, you're out there to spend money. I respect that. I just don't like this contract for the player they brought in, not them spending money. I think, hey, this is the time, right? Stacey? I mean, you got to be on top of it if you're Toronto at this point.
Yeah. All right. One quick thing before we go to Fanmail Friday. Their current payroll is 232, excuse me, for 2026 already. So for them, that's big. And if they add more to it, they're going to pass certain thresholds and have to pay certain taxes. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Okay.
Yeah, do you think they go over?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think, you know what's funny too? The second richest owner in baseball, Toronto Blue Jays, because of Rogers Corp. They got money, and people seem to not realize it. They've got money.
All right. It's Fanmail Friday. If you're new and you've never watched us, we do Fanmail Friday every week. We answer questions from our viewers and listeners, but we have an Insiders Club, and they get top priority on Fanmail Friday. And we start every Friday with Betty, one of our first insiders. She's been with us since the beginning. And this is what she has to say on this Black Friday. Are you guys leftover people or not? I'm definitely a leftovers gal after all the cooking is done for the feast. Speaking of leftovers, should the Yankees settle for leftovers or go for fresh players? I think they need another starting pitcher for sure. Then the next day, earlier today, my submission sounds like settling for leftover players is a bad thing, and I didn't mean it that way. I believe in most of the returning players. I just think we need to add a couple of big talent names. So Betty didn't want to disparage anyone.
You're so innocent, Betty. Like I don't know if you'd be able to be a sports radio host because I don't think you're able to tear guys down as much as me and Stacey can. Leftovers when it comes to cooking or the feast, 1,000%. I think one of the best things about Thanksgiving is the leftovers. It borderline tastes better the day after than it does during the feast.
Yeah.
Borderline. Like, I don't know if that might be a hot take, but that's the way I view it. Leftover players, if they fit your roster, I'm for it.
Yeah.
If they fit what you're trying to do, I'm for it. I don't think you need to shop at the highest end stores all the time when it comes to free agency. A lot of the times the best moves are made in the bargain basement, right? So I don't hate that analogy at all. I think leftover players sometimes result in the Ernie Clements of the world, shall we say. Sometimes results in really good moves, actually.
Yeah.
Cody Bellinger was a leftover last offseason.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
like he was. So, and the Yankees got him for a steal. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is the truth. Let's go to Chris F. Chris F says, hope you both had a great Thanksgiving. Thank you, Chris. You too. Two-part question. One, do you think that the Dylan Cease move will hurt us? Two, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? And love the pod, and let's go Yankees.
I don't think it hurts the Yankees. I think it's interesting now that the AL East, the other teams of the AL East are realizing that you really need pitching to do things. Like the Blue Jays have finally realized, hey, we need a really strong rotation. And hey, it got us to the 7th game of the World Series. So let's shore it up a bit and get someone else. I think the key for them is, Cease might not be an ace, but he's healthy. He doesn't get injured. He doesn't miss time. So, and they need people like that because they've had some guys miss time.
Yeah, Gosman, they just brought in Bieber, who missed the last year and a half. So, with their history and the susceptibleness that their rotation has to getting hurt, I do understand completely bringing in. Again, I just don't like the AAV. I don't like that kind of AAV for a guy like Cease that they're bringing in. Yeah. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
It's that dish I made a few years ago, the Brussels gratin that I made.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think mine is the fact that you can put 2 starches on a plate at once.
Oh, I love it.
Stuffing
And potatoes.
Because you would never do that any other day of the year.
I will say
Mixing
this,
that with some gravy and turkey, that's the only way turkey usually tastes good. That's the way to go.
Betty mentioned leftovers. We made a leftover casserole in, I want to say, it was 2014. It was actually the first Thanksgiving after my father passed away. So Gus didn't get to experience this with us, but we made a layered casserole with leftovers. So turkey, sweet potatoes, stuffing, corn, mashed potatoes on top, put it in the oven with a couple of things of butter on top to kind of brown the potatoes a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good. I recommend that if you guys like things like that and you can handle the food together, because I know some people like the food separate, but if you can handle the food together, then you can do.
I think it has to go together. Yeah. I think on one forkful of stuffing, mashed potatoes, turkey, and gravy is undefeated.
Yeah, because I know it's like it's a very controversial thing that some people don't like turkey, so they don't do turkey for Thanksgiving. I don't mind turkey.
I think you have to.
Yeah, it's the tradition, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what you have. And I don't know. I just feel like some people are too hard on Thanksgiving and you don't use turkey for other holidays. I know people who do turkeys for Christmas as well.
I don't. I don't. We don't. I don't make a turkey ever throughout the year other than Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel like for the holidays, now I'm okay with I've heard people doing steak now for Thanksgiving. I'm okay with incorporating steak.
I know someone who did a brisket yesterday.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with incorporating it, but you got to have some turkey on the menu. You just have to.
Yeah. All right. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notifications so you know when our videos go up. You can also listen to us on every podcasting platform available, and you can follow us on Instagram at Locked On Yankees. So coming up next, we have a couple more insider questions, and we move on to YouTube.
The NFL season is underway, and honestly, there's no better feeling than being in the stadium, surrounded by the fans, cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be such a hassle between the queues, the login screens, and the prices jumping at checkout. It can be awfully frustrating, and that's why I use Gametime. It's the app that gives the advantage back to the fans at all moments. Gametime is fast, it's easy, it's backed by the Gametime guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price possible. Plus, all of your fees are always included right before you purchase the tickets, so the price you see is the price that you're going to pay. Now, I pull up the Gametime app, and in just a few taps, I see amazing deals. I'm talking about your favorite NFL games for as low as $100. Honestly, it's faster, it's cheaper, and it's less stressful than any other way that I've bought tickets today. So download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code one word, Locked On MLB, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Gametime app today. I just want to give a preface since we're on a live stream, and you guys can probably hear my dog whining and crying in the background of the live stream. I'm not sure if it's making it to the mic, but I wouldn't doubt it. She's fine. She's sitting at the door wanting to go play downstairs. So my dog is okay. But if you hear that in the background, that's what's going on. There's not some kind of torture chamber in my house or something. Just letting you guys know. To Eric S. Eric S. says, loved the Turkey Day show. Fanmail Friday comment. Another way to look at Grisham signing is extra bat insurance for Stanton's possible injury. Yeah, I disagree with that statement because Grisham's going to play whether Stanton's in the lineup or not. Grisham's going to be their starting center fielder. So I don't think the Stanton, you're not going to DH Grisham and start someone else in center field. So I think it doesn't really match up, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a way that would work.
They don't have much to do with each other. And although Grisham hit 30, 35 homers last year, 34, it's not the same power threat that Stanton is. So even in the lineup, you're not hitting Trent Grisham third behind Judge.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're going to lead him off when he can't lead off.
Exactly. So it doesn't, I don't think it's a total comp there.
Yeah. But, can't have too many outfielders when it comes to the Yankees because you never know who's going to get injured.
That is for sure.
All right. Our next comment is from Sean, who says, happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends. Sean is from Toronto. Thank you, Stacey and Brian, for all the informative and entertaining content all year long. So he is from the 6. Yeah.
Thank you. We're thankful for you. We're thankful to all of our listeners, honestly. So Really appreciate that, and stay warm up there in the 6. Patrick says, Stacy and Brian, what is the most valuable baseball card you have or ever have had in your possession? That's a really good question.
I didn't really have a lot of baseball cards. I had like 2 sets, and I had 83, 84, 85. I may have a Don Mattingly in there somewhere, which is pretty cool, like to have one of his first cards.
I have a multiple binders somewhere in my house, probably in the attic. So I'm sure there's like a Derek Jeter, like 2003 card that's like maybe somewhat valuable, but I don't have a lot of I don't have any old school. Like if you're looking for like that Mickey Mantle rookie card answer, I don't have that, unfortunately. Yeah. I hope I do somewhere, but I don't think I do.
It's pretty funny because it was me and my friend Melissa. We were the 2 girls who, she was a little bit more of a tomboy than me, but I had tomboy tendencies. But then some days I'd want to gossip with the girls about the boys in elementary school. But on the days that I didn't, I'd flip baseball cards and steal some from the boys. They'd steal some from me. Like I'd lose some, I'd win some. And, even back then in the 80s, the guys appreciated that me and Melissa knew our sports stuff and the cards and the players and everything else. And it was just really a lot of fun. My first set was the 1983 top set, which I probably have. I think it's in our attic.
I think if you kept that closed, it would have been worth more money.
Right. Yeah.
There's something about the closed decks that are really valuable.
You know I used to look at them and try and memorize all the stats from all the different guys. That information has long left my head. But when I was a kid, if you had asked me about any player from 1983, I probably could have rattled off.
Oh, that's impressive. I like
their stats. Yeah.
I like that. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We're up to Evan. Evan says, what is your favorite individual Yankee milestone moment? I remember watching on TV as Jeter hit his 3,000th hit out of the park, and that will stay with me forever.
You know what's funny is that was on my birthday. I believe it was my 11th birthday that he hit that 3,000 home run to left field. And I remember the image of the guy. I got a new TV in my bedroom for my birthday that year, and my dad
it was 2011. You were 14.
14.
Weren't you?
Okay, there you go. Somewhere around that range. Yeah. I got a new TV for my birthday that year, and my dad was setting it up. And as we got the cable connected, finally, he was hitting that home run. So that was a pretty cool memory to watch that home run hit. I love the A-Rod 600th home run. Off the center field sweep back there. Mm-hmm. That was a pretty cool one too. So those are the 2 big milestone ones. You know what I want to throw in there too, if I can, just honorable mention, the CC 3000 strikeout in Arizona.
I had friends who were at that game.
That was a cool one. That was a really cool one.
I had friends who went to that game. 2 of them live out there, and the other one was visiting them to go to that specific game, and they got to see his 3,000th. I liked A-Rod's 3,000th hit just because I couldn't stand Justin Verlander, and I love that he hit a home run off him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
The Jeter thing the night before, because everyone was joking about how Jeter was going to ground the ball to the left side for his 3,000th hit. I predicted on Twitter, and you can't see it anymore because I blew up my Twitter account, but I predicted that he was going to go 4 for 4 with a home run, and that the 3,000th hit was going to be a home run, and he went 5 for 5, and his 3,000th hit was a home run. So I was that close.
Yeah, it is very strange to think about it, though. A guy that career is not a power hitter remotely at all winds up having some of the most iconic home runs.
So weird. The first pitch home run in the Mets game after the Mets win game 3, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Mets are coming back in the series." And before people are even finished sitting down in Shea Stadium,
shuts it all up. Yeah,
first time he's in the leadoff spot, he hits the home run and shuts them down. The walk off against Arizona, which I was at, I love that moment. That's not really a milestone. That's just I was there when he passed Lou Gehrig on the all-time hit list.
Yeah.
But they lost that game 10-3 or 10-4 to the Orioles because they were winning at that point, and then the bullpen blew up the game. So they never show it on Yankee Classics because of that.
Yeah, it is weird how many. And now to our favorite insider, Malachi. Every week we go to Malachi. He asks, what are the 5 free agents you would want to get? Mine is Bregman, Bellinger, Realmuto, Schwarber, Dylan Cease.
Well,
You're out on Schwarber.
Yeah, we're out on Schwarber. We're out on Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
There's
no room for Schwarber. That's why I said we're out on Schwarber.
But who did I see Bregman attached to earlier in the week?
I didn't see him. Did you see him with someone?
No, yeah, it was one of those silly articles that you see on
Okay.
Google, and I can't remember who they were trying to put him with.
I think the Red Sox with Bregman are waiting on what they do with Alonso. I think they want Alonso to take a deal, but if he doesn't take one, they're going to go back to Bregman. But I don't think they're going to get both. So I think that's what they're waiting on there.
That would be interesting.
I don't think the Yankees are going to be in on Schwarber,
No.
Malachi, only because DH, primary, like left-handed bat would be great, but they are very left-handed now, and he is a DH. He doesn't fit.
No, not at all.
There's not much of a fit there. Real Muto is an interesting one. I think he's going to wind up getting overpaid, so I think the Yankees are probably going to stay out of that one. And I think they like their catching situation they're in right now. Like Austin, you still got to try and you sign Real Muto. What does that mean for Austin Wells?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It just means, and I know you're trying to win a championship, but it's that fine line right there. And I'd say Bregman, Malachi, there's no chance there on that one. They're gonna go forward with what they have. They like what they have in McMahon, especially with the defense there. Bellinger, they're gonna be in on, but I'll sit here and say it, and I've been saying it all offseason. I think they're getting outpriced for Bellinger, and I think as the weeks go on, the price gets higher and higher. I think they're getting outpriced for Bellinger. I really do.
Yeah.
There's a number they're not willing to go over, and I think he signs for over that number.
We'll see. It'll be interesting. I mean, no one thought the Blue Jays were going to sign Dylan Cease for 7 years, $210 million. No matter what it works out to with deferrals, that number really jumped out at a lot of people. And the fact that they got it done before Thanksgiving, and it wasn't anything like, did anyone see that coming? Like, was he linked to them at all?
No, but I also think that it shows that they're coming to fight this offseason.
Yeah, because they got the taste of the World Series. They were how many outs or how many away from winning twice, and again, ended up losing at 7.
But so, I think as like someone from as an outsider perspective, from as us, you have to respect that.
Oh yeah,
like you do. Like going to the World Series, there are so many franchises like them that, again, they have the money, but like teams that choose not to spend and make their run to the World Series.
The Orioles make it to the Orioles make it to the playoffs
and then give up. The one that comes to mind the most, right? A couple of years ago, Arizona makes this big jump, young talent goes to the World Series, spends nothing. And then how about Tampa Bay when they went to the World Series a few years ago? Goes to the World Series, and then, I mean, not out of pocket for Tampa Bay to not spend. I mean, that's not like them, but you'd think that's the time to go, all right, we just made it to the World Series, let's invest. They don't invest.
No, so I think their feeling was, we made it to the World Series like this. We're going to keep doing it like this because we're going to be smarter than everyone else, or try to be.
It didn't work out. But I mean, I respect this out of Toronto. Again, don't like the deal, but like I respect being aggressive. This is what, 3 weeks after they won the pennant, and they're right back at it, giving out $200 million to Dylan Cease. I got to respect that kind of effort. I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you to all the insiders. Coming up next, it's YouTube question time.
The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel. It's the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to all of those fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine those live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. NFL Sunday is coming. I'll tell you this, if you're watching on the live stream, I like the Longhorns later. I like them a lot against Texas A&M, and I might be wrong. I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'm going to bet them again and go back to the well with Arch Manning because, hey, I like that. Plus, futures market available on FanDuel. Get your Super Bowl picks in now, or maybe bet the Chiefs to miss the playoffs. Looks like that might actually happen. It can keep every game exciting, though, especially when your team is making that late game push. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head over to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel. It's the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Stacey, I have a trick question for you. Speaking of Black Friday and sales, and we're all looking to save money around the holiday season because it can get awfully expensive out there. Do you know? Now, you might know because you do handle a lot of our online promotion and stuff and our YouTube. And I'm very thankful on this holiday season for you and the editing that you do and the great job that you do with Locked On Yankees. But I do have a question for you. Do you know how much it costs to be a subscriber to Locked On Yankees on YouTube?
Yes. It costs nothing.
Nothing. What about Apple Podcasts?
Nothing.
iHeart?
Nothing.
What about Spotify? That's got to cost something, right?
I think so. Actually, Apple might cost something.
To
have
subscribe,
Apple
just
Music.
just to click. Just
But
to click
if you
subscribe.
just click subscribe and you're already with Apple Music and Apple Podcasts, nothing.
What if you rate it, like give it 5 stars?
That costs
Does it
nothing
cost
but
anything?
just 2 seconds.
Just making it aware. So everything, that new toaster you just bought at Target probably cost you $50, or you got a deal on it for $30 this Black Friday season. That's $30 more than it costs to subscribe to Locked On Yankees everywhere. Go do that. We also give you Fanmail Friday every single Friday, like we're doing right now. Back to our YouTube questions we go to Big Georgie 333, who says, my father-in-law was born and raised a Yankee fan. After the 1981 World Series, and George went on his rant about losing the World Series and saying how he apologized for it, it disgusted my father-in-law so much that he became a Mets fan from that moment on. Woof. Could the players or the organization ever do something that would ever make you stop being a Yankee fan? What would it take, and what team would you support instead? Thank you so much and love the show. I don't want to marry into a family like that.
I can't really think of anything.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing. I've gotten this question before back on my radio days. There is nothing that they could do as an organization. First of all, it's literally in my blood. I have a Yankee tattoo on my arm, so I can't
show you mine, but I also have a Yankee tattoo.
Yeah, so it's literally in our blood. There is nothing they can do. If the owner came out and said something heinous that I don't agree with, I would just want him to sell the team.
Right.
But I wouldn't, like, they've signed players that are pieces of human filth, personally. If you strike the guy out, I don't care. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
When that goes back to that classic Seinfeld quote, Stacey. You're rooting for laundry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rooting for that Tiffany logo and laundry. That's it. That's all I'm rooting for. I don't care who owns the team, who the GM is, who the manager is. I hope to God they win a World Series with Aaron Boone. Like, I don't think they will, but I hope they do.
Yeah.
I don't care who's employed by them, as long as they. Now, I don't support them employing certain people, but if they're going to go do that and I can't stop them, I'm never going to not root. It's not plausible. It's not possible. I don't think it exists. If there's another team I root for, it would be the Texas Rangers. I just like the way that they operate. I think they're always kind of competitive. They're willing to spend big money. They make moves to stay competitive. I like their stadium. I like Texas. That's who I'd root for. But like, there's no other team.
I wouldn't root for another team. And I don't have a second favorite team. I don't have a third favorite team.
Yeah.
Whenever I fill out an MLB survey and it says, what's your second favorite team? What's your third favorite team? I'm
I don't have those.
Favorite is one.
Yeah.
Favorite is one above all else.
Other organizations, though, that you kind of have like a healthy respect for, or like a pull for. You'd kind of, you don't mind seeing them win if it's not going to be the Yankees. There are certain teams I never want to see win.
Right.
I could go the rest of my life not seeing the New York Islanders ever do anything positive, and I'll be happy with that. I have no, but like when the Vegas Golden Knights win, all right. Like if the Rangers can't, I'm okay with them winning. Like the Texas Rangers is one. The St. Louis Cardinals, I respect the way they do things. Like I don't mind when they win, but like overall, like it's no.
Yeah. Well,
sorry about your father-in-law.
This next question is for you. From Nick C878, Brian, do you ever bet on or against the Yankees, including your favorite teams in other sports? And do you ever bet on or against your favorite players on those teams? Thank you. Love the show.
Love the betting question. So thank you. Do I ever bet on the Yankees? Sometimes. Very rarely, though. I don't like doing it. There's enough already built in there emotionally that's hurting me. I don't want
you don't need all that anxiety. On top of it.
So I'd rather it not hurt my wallet as well. The Rangers, I rarely ever have an opportunity to bet on because they stink so much. So there's never that opportunity either. When it comes to betting against them, sometimes in a big playoff series, I will throw a little bit of coin on the opposing team. And they call it a happiness hedge. And it basically stands for, if the Yankees win that, because the Yankees are usually favorites, especially in the ALDS. So I'll take the opposing team they're playing for a big number. And the way that I look at it as, if the Yankees win, I don't care about the $10 I just lost on the other team. Doesn't bother me one bit. I'm happy the Yankees won. And if the Yankees lose, nice seeing $200 deposited into my account because it helps a little bit with the nerves. So that's the way that I operate, but generally, no, I don't bet against my team, especially during the regular season. And honestly, I don't bet on baseball a lot because I just don't like betting on baseball. But that's the way that I operate normally when it comes to that kind of stuff. Would you ever bet against the Yankees?
I'm not really a betting person.
But do you like the idea of a happiness hedge? Or you still wouldn't do it?
I don't think I'd do it.
I respect it. I don't hate it. Casey Cotreau 7050 says, what are your most and least memorable moments of all the Yankees games you've been to? Well, it's hard to state the least memorable.
Right.
Because I don't remember it.
Right.
Fair question, Casey.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned some of the, I was at game 4 of the 2001 World Series. Tino to tie, Jeter to win. That was a pretty memorable playoff moment. I was at the Jose Vizcaíno walk-off against the Mets in game 1 of the Subway Series. It was my first World Series game. I was like, wow, the World Series is fun.
I'll take it as least memorable. He means like most disappointing. That's the way he's like translating that. That's how I'm going to choose to take it. And with that, I'm going to go with game 4 last year in the World Series. I was there to watch Freddie Freeman just be Freddie Freeman. That one kind of stung. Most memorable, honestly, I was at the comeback against Houston in 2017. That was pretty awesome. But the wild card game in 2017, that Didi home run, I can still feel the ground shaking. I mean, that was one of the most incredible moments to ever witness live. So I would say that one for sure.
Yeah, I think least memorable, or the one that causes me the most pain, probably game 5 against Cleveland in 2007, because it was the last playoff game that they played in the old stadium.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And they lost, and it was terrible. And I was, 50 pounds overweight, and I felt terrible about myself. And I was like sitting there like crying because I'm like, oh, this is like the worst night ever. And then the security guards were trying to chase me out, and I was like, let me have this just for a moment, because I didn't want to leave.
You're eating your stuff in your halal
eating
guys.
My feelings. Yeah, like come on. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That's a brutal one. That's a rough one.
Is that the only? I think that's the only series losing game I've been to, if I recall correctly.
No, yeah. I was at 2018 when they lost to Boston.
Oh,
yeah, that was a bad one, and that one too hurt a little more because the last out, I believe it was Glaber. It might have been Gary Sanchez. It hit it to the track though, like to the wall. Like it was. I think it was Glaber
to the window. Just kidding.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure John Sterling called it gone, but no, it did not. That was a rough one too.
That was my ADHD right there, because anytime someone says something that's like a song quote, I have to.
Yeah.
So that's the first time you guys have seen me do something like that, but I literally do that like 15 times a day, and it annoys my family like you would not believe. But my brother also does it too, so it's a family trait that we have. So
we don't get the editing feature on the live stream.
Yeah, no, I would have edited that out of the regular show, but hey,
all good.
We're past. Yeah, we're past the 30-minute mark anyway, so I could cut this out of the audio version. But the 82 people who are in there right now, you just saw my ADHD brain at work. So just imagine what it's like living with me.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining us. Let's just look at some comments since we're past 30 minutes, and I can always edit. Let's see. I was at the game last year in June against the Orioles where it was 96 degrees out in the scalding sun, and the Orioles scored, I think, 17 runs. Well, I was at a game like that.
I would have left.
I was at a game like that in, what year was it? Phil Hughes was pitching, and we had seats just under the overhang in the 200 section out in left field. Mm-hmm. It was about 93 at the start, but it was humid and disgusting, and Phil Hughes gave up like 4 solo home runs. And
what's funny is I refuse. I don't go to those games. Those hot weather games. I won't. I'll go to summer night games. I'm all for summer day games. I'm good. I take a hard pass on those.
Yeah. There was one July 4th. 2010. It was so hot that these 2 girls, like a row below me, completely passed out. Like I actually wanted to check on them to make sure that they were okay. I couldn't make it past the 3rd inning. I met a friend and we stood in the 200 section behind the seats and watched the game from there. It was too hot to be in the sun. I
did that 4th of July game 3 years ago against the Mets. when they played over that weekend, and they played the doubleheader on the 4th of July.
Oh,
Because it got rained out on the 3rd, and that was rough, sitting through that all day. That was not fun. We had great seats, but not a good experience.
yeah. You had some interesting hot weather experiences with the Yankees. Also had cold weather experiences with the Yankees.
Although those are better. Those are more memorable.
Opening day 03 was good because that was the Hideki Matsui Grand Slam. You just started playing with the Yankees and, the flair for the dramatic call. And it snowed the day before. And it was, I believe it was 36 degrees at the start of the game. And you still had the snow was on the ground, even though it wasn't in the stadium, but the air was just cold from the snow. I was dressed like I was doing the Iditarod, and they showed me on the Diamond Vision. I had my hood up, and the only way I knew it was me because I recognized my hood and my rainbow scarf. But other than that, you wouldn't have known who was in there because I was just
I don't think it's worth freezing like that for an opening day game. But there is no better feeling than freezing like that for a playoff game.
Game 2 against the Angels in 09.
Yeah, like that kind of chill and that hurt on your face, like that signifies the importance of the game. To me, at least.
Game
so
2 against the Angels, it was like cold, it was rainy. We weren't sitting in the rain. Thank God we were sitting all the way up in the 200s, but I was dressed on top, at least, like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Like I could barely put my arms down because I had so many layers on because I didn't want to freeze.
You want that, in my opinion. Like that to me is what like I hate now walking into postseason games. Now that it's like summer and October still, I hate walking into like October baseball and it's like I could be in shorts. I don't like that. Like I don't like wearing short sleeves. I like going there. I don't want it to be 10 degrees outside. I want it to be like 50, 45 degrees where there's a slight chill in the air. I like that. That to me means it's a big game.
Game 1 against the Mets in 2000. It was like 65 degrees that night. It was a Saturday night. It was really nice. And then I was watching clips from Game 2 and I was like, why are they all bundled? So I looked up the weather from that weekend and a cold front had moved in overnight between Game 1 and Game 2 and dropped the temperature down. Because I was like, I remember clearly wearing a T-shirt, having to cover my drink because we were sitting so high that the bugs were flying into the lights and dropping into our drinks. Like, it was gross, but yeah, that's how high we were. We were like row R in the upper deck for Game 1. Like it was, you couldn't see anything, but just being there was really cool. And now it's like, 60 until November. So there's you almost don't run into any kind of chance of being cold at a playoff game.
More of my weather-related sports moments are attached to football.
Oh, yeah.
Like Jets games, pouring rain, like snow. I was at the Jets-Bengals game in 2010 on January 3rd where it was -3 outside.
Oh, I was at the inaugural Pinstripe Bowl and I thought I was going to die. It was cold.
Yeah, those are the real hardcore memories of being a fan.
So this person just made me feel really old, but let's see if they make you feel old. Read that.
Man, I missed being alive for the 2000 World Series by like a month. Wow. Yeah, no, I don't remember the 2000 World Series, but I was kicking.
I was 25. Thank you. No, 26. What am I talking about? I turned 26 in 2000. I can do math, I swear. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. I was 3.
Yeah. All right. Now that I'm depressed. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this live edition of Locked On Yankees. We appreciate every single one of you, whether you're listening to this, watching us live, watching us after we're live, could be on Sunday that you're watching this. We just appreciate every single one of you. We wouldn't be here without you. And every day, I can't believe that this is my job.
Thankful, very thankful for everything you guys
we are thankful on this day after Thanksgiving that you guys make this possible for us. All right, well, thank you again for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, you can find Locked On MLB. Baseball guru Sully brings you a daily blend of humor and baseball, and he keeps you updated on every rumor and story throughout the offseason. And you can find Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this live edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsulias.
And I'm Brian McCann. We'll see you guys Monday.